What is going on, everybody? It is RangerMarcus or Marcus Raymond, and we are back in California permanently. Actually, I got a new job as a field scientist / wildlife ecologist with Calibri Ecological Consulting. So I will be here for the foreseeable future. So we're going to get back to California herping videos, and I really haven't got to explore all the things that I've wanted to every time like I come back and forth, like for Christmas and over the summer and stuff like that. So we still have a lot of really cool species that I have yet to see in California. So stay tuned for that. But it's a little bittersweet because I had to leave Florida with all the really cool species and habitat. But we're back in California, and let's see if we can find some yellow blotched ensatinas today. I've already seen 5 of the 7 species, so today would be number 6. Let's get straight to it. All right, guys, well, the only herp of the night that I've got so far after a lot of hiking is just this little skink. I'm not sure exactly if it's a skeleton skink or some other sort of skink, but down here in somewhat central to Southern California, flip this guy under this log right here. A little unhappy with me, trying to get some pictures, but yeah, I think practically the first herp back in California now. Of course it's a skink. So I found this decent looking table right here, right next to what would be a little creek, and another skink, second skink of the night. Let's put this guy back. With a little nub tail. He's going. And first herp of today, we have another skink. So 3 skinks on the trip so far and nothing else. Next little guy we have is just a little lizard here. Put this guy back. And another big old skink. Very long tail. Once again biting me. Put this guy back right here. You guys have no idea how much effort I have put in to find that little guy right there. Man, I was 15 minutes away from giving up. I had this one point up this canyon where I was like, if I don't see anything until then, I'm just gonna go back. Luckily, this yellow blotched ensatina was right under this log. Right next to the little creek. Man, am I happy. Well, this little guy has been very uncooperative, as a lot of ensatinas are. But we're gonna put this guy back, and now I have some pretty good feelings that we're gonna find some more. He also has some really big eyes. But yeah, very glad to have found the salamander in 6 species of ensatina that I've seen. So only one more, that's the large blotched ensatina, but that'll have to be a whole another trip though. Now this is a pretty cool flip. I haven't seen anything for the last hour or so, but we just flipped a slender salamander, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a Tehachapi slender salamander, which would be a lifer for me. There's like 23 different species of slender salamander. I think I've seen maybe like 5 or 6. You really got to go all across California, Oregon, just to find all of them, but this is really, really cool. A slender salamander species I have never seen before. Here's a little squirrel for you. But I think that's going to be it for me today. I walked over 5 miles and I only found 2 salamanders. So overall successful because I got 2 lifers out of it. But I wish I could have seen more individuals. That's all right though. I'm going to get out next week with some familiar faces to the channel. And hopefully we can find a lot of snakes. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys then. All right, here's the first snake of the day. Got a little gopher snake. He's a little bit pissy, but good looking one. Good looking saddles there. Kind of looks a little Great Basin-y, but cool looking snake overall. Maybe about a foot and a half or so. Let's put this guy back. Under the board. Other way. There you go, buddy. There he goes. Come on. Nice.
Oh, careful. Definitely revving up.
Engine is on. Yeah, it looks like a great basin.
Yeah, yellow. Get something good.
Got any live in? It's not worth getting. All right, here's our 5th snake of the day. Another western rattlesnake. Kind of looks like a Great Basin just based on like kind of the coloration, but the great yellow is really cool looking in this area in central California. This guy's only riding a little bit. Man, what a good looking snake though. All right, here is snake number 6, another little gopher snake. Spot's working. 3 snakes here, 3 snakes at the first spot. Here's another really cool look at this gopher snake. Some really bright oranges on this guy. But yeah, really small overall. Alright, let's get this guy back under his board. Other way. Other way. There we go. Bye, snake.
Looks like a video of Bill Clinton playing saxophone.
Alright guys, here is a lifer for me. A night snake. I've been trying to see one for a long time, especially in the Bay Area. But this is a lifer for me, especially on the valley floor here in central California. It's a pretty big deal, I think. This is a mildly venomous snake. So you got to be a little bit careful about these guys. If it bites you, just kind of get that, you know, that jaw off you. But really cool looking snake. Fairly small. Kind of looks like a really small gopher snake. But the eyes, I can show you the eyes here. This is what the eyes look like. Kind of look like cat-eyed snakes, because the vertical line right there, the vertical pupil. Really cool looking snakes. But yeah, we're gonna take some pictures of this guy and then put him right back here. Wrong way. All right, so we got snake number 9 and 10 right here, both gopher snakes. This is the adult, super yellow phase, and then we got this kind of small one. It's a little bit more tan. Really cool looking at the difference between the adult and the juvenile. This guy's kind of eyeing him though. He needs to watch out. We got 10 snakes for the day. We're gonna keep herping. All right, we got a little western rattlesnake that kind of looks like a Norpack right on the road as we're going back to the coast area. Just a little guy. All right, here's a big Cali King. First one that I've seen in a very long time, actually. But we're gonna pick this guy up and take some pics. And second snake of the day, we got a ringneck right here. Was it just Pacific ringneck here? Same thing. It's like the Bay Area.
Monterey.
Or the Monterey ringneck. It's cool.
Man, go under. Do you want to go under the board?
And the third snake of the day, got a cool rattlesnake. Super dark one, just like the one that was in that bush that we found yesterday. But another cool individual. Hoping to see a few more of these guys. All right, here's a coast garter, fourth species of the day. This is also the fourth snake. Pretty cool looking individual, very typical of a coast garter snake with the black and yellow stripe there. Good looking one, smells incredibly bad, just like all garter snakes do. But a good looking snake. Ryan caught this guy on the move. Yeah. Just spotted another snake about 30 seconds down the way, a big old gopher snake. Might be bigger than the one that we found yesterday. Like yesterday was like 4.5 feet, but it's a pretty big one. Look what we got here. Got a gopher snake. Looks like it's got a meal in him. Pretty thick right here. It's a good looking one too. Maybe about 2.5 feet or so. The back kind of looks like pine snakey. They're in the same genus. Really cool looking gopher snake though. Just coming out of this hole out here to bask. It's about 70, 75 degrees. Oh, he's a little mad. Let's see what he does. Get this gopher snake in the hole. I'll coil it up in there. There he is.
I'm not paying that much for it. You know, second generation. I'm like, if I had one from like when I was that could have been a collectible. Pretty cool. Oh, there's a tadpole right here as well. I don't know what the kind of is. A chorus frog or something. That's crawling. Another guy right there. I don't see any more right below me. Another one over there. Two right here. But the tadpole is really. That was hard. My mom was like. The worst part was I see it. That's what I was thinking, but he was in there just like the sediment building. It's like soil and sediment. About 2 feet over there. Two newts right here, hanging outside of the water. Okay, so we got a ton of newts here coming out of the water. He's right there. Have this guy here. We got that guy right there, crawling. We have this guy right here.
And then there was another guy over here somewhere. Here he is. Guy right there. 4 newts all outside the water. All right, this is the second night snake I have ever flipped here in the Sierras, actually, instead of in San Luis Obispo County. This one's a little bit darker. It's got a darker head and not the twin spouting on the back, just a single spot. But pretty interesting, only the second California night snake I've ever seen. There he's going. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. We traveled all the way from Southern California to Central California to the home and native of Northern California. In Southern California, we went looking for yellow blotched ensatinas and we found them, so it was a lifer for me, as well as a Tehachapi slender salamander. In Central California, we saw a bunch of snakes with my cousin Brandon, Ryan, and Thomas. We got California kingsnake, a lot of western rattlesnakes. We got Pacific gopher snakes, a ringneck, my lifer California night snake, and a coast garter snake. Then in Northern California, we went to my favorite place on earth. We went to go look for Sierra newts with a bunch of my college basketball teammates. So overall, back in California, found some really, really cool stuff. And stay tuned for all of the really cool California herping content. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe. Peace.